Guys, hi guys. Um, Hi guys, welcome back to our stream. It's your boy Matthew, and in today's stream, we are trying to hit 20 subs in Fortnite. Can you please load? Alright. Today, I'm also going to be setting up, English is hard, Nightbot, and, so.
When quarantine started, I just decided to do something for everybody and just put together my first ever drum kit and put it out as the quarantine kit for kids staying home, making music, you know what I'm saying, to inspire everyone to just keep working and stuff. I got some sounds in here from Butterfly Effect and my new single, Banana Split, featuring YNW Melly and Lil Durk. I just want this to be like a go
list of the default commands that Nightbot has set up for us. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few.
Dream. It's actually pretty fire though, chat. Hello?
Oh, dude, this kid just
Who here knows Grant?
What?
Who here knows Grant 1193?
Wait, I don't know him.
Alright then. Here, Aiden, join my party, alright? Alright, well. Yo, I'm gonna join my friend and invite you.
Yep.
No, bro, you know what they did?
What?
You can't buy Travis Scott no more. Go look at the item shop.
Oh. Aiden, say hello to Wild Hour.
Hello.
Wild Hour, say hello to Aiden. He's my friend from soccer.
It's okay if you say he's your boyfriend.
You know what? Can you?
The hesitation what makes me think that.
What?
No.
What did you
Aiden, you might want to mute him. He has some disturbing stuff to say. So go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, you do. Trust
Play
me.
with y'all.
But we'll
What?
start
I'm
with
just
commands.
playing
If you
with
click
y'all.
commands and then click default, we can see a list of the default commands that Nightbot has set up for us. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few
What skin
default
should I
ones
buy?
set up. There's things like showing the current game that you're streaming, running commercials, updating the title,
You want to unfill it?
things like that.
You should buy Dark
Nightbot's
Bricks.
already set these up, and as you can see
You wanna
over on the
unfill
right
it?
hand side, for each one you can click
Fill.
read some more information in the docs, and that's a really good place if you want to understand a little bit more about what that command
Alright,
is doing.
so-
So I'd highly recommend any of them that you're not sure about what they're going to do, click the docs link, and Nightbot actually has a really good documentation section where you can learn a lot more about how the commands work.
Why is dark
You
red?
also have the option to disable or enable the
Because there's really no good skin in the item shop right now.
It's going to open up a new window where you can customize
Can you stop doing
which
that
level of user
game?
can actually
That dance?
access that command. So if they type it in, what level of user is actually going to
Never
get
mind,
some
you don't
No,
response
have
back
it's one of
from that,
Maddie's friends.
as well as
Because
some other
Braden's
options
playing Save the
depending on
World
what
and
command.
Wesley's
So
not
if you want to
online.
understand a little bit more about what that command is
You
doing,
can-
so I'd highly recommend any of them that you're not sure about what they're
You
going
can
to
join our
do.
party.
Click the docs link, and Nightbot actually has a really good
I'm not part of the
documentation
group.
section
I am.
where you can learn a lot more about
I
how
mean,
the
no, he
commands
isn't.
work.
Can
You
you
also
No
have the
wild
option to
hours.
disable
Yeah,
or
no, can you
enable
radio?
the command if you wish
You-
to, and if you click options, it's going to open up a
Y'all
new window
want
where you
invite
can
me?
customize which level of user
I'm gonna
can
invite my brother over
actually access that command. So if they type it in, what level
when he
of
gets
user is
online.
actually going to get some response back from Nightbot, as well as some other options depending.
Are you gonna ready up?
On the command. So
Yeah,
why
once
don't
I've
we
been
look
right
into
there,
one?
just-
Let's have a look at the game command and click options. Now the game command, if somebody types in !game into your chat, that will get Nightbot to respond with the current game that is being played on the stream. The default user level for the !game command is set to everyone, which means anybody in your chat can type the command. However, the game option also allows moderators or higher user levels to update the game. So if they do !game CSGO, then Nightbot will update the game to reflect that, but only moderators or higher user levels can modify the game. If somebody else tries to do it, they'll get a message saying that they can't edit it. The cooldown box below is just a way of being able to set what you want the cooldown to be. So this is the minimum amount of time before the command can be used again. So you obviously don't want to set this super low because you don't want people spamming your chat just to get a response out of Nightbot. And people don't really need to know what the game is more than every 10 seconds or so. So you can slide this across to be whatever cooldown you'd like. And when you're happy with your changes, you can just click submit. Now I'm not going to go through every single one of the commands because there's plenty of documentation explaining exactly what each command allows you to do, but I would advise spending some time here and just making sure that you're only enabling the commands that you want to and that you really understand how the Nightbot system works. So spend some time going through these default commands. When you're ready, we can resume the video and we're going to add a custom command by clicking the custom button just underneath commands here. Now in the custom commands we should see a table which will currently be empty because we haven't added any custom commands. But we are going to click the add command button in the top right and a new window should pop up. Now as we can see, Nightbot has actually provided us with an example which we'll go along with. So let's say we wanted to create a command that would allow users to be able to find out from Nightbot a link to our YouTube channel. So as we can see in the example here, !YouTube is the command that we could choose, but this could be absolutely anything you wanted. It could be !YouTube channel. You don't even have to have an exclamation mark before it, but it's worth having that just because you don't want Nightbot spamming when people are just having a conversation and mentioning the word YouTube. You'd prefer them to actually be requesting something from Nightbot, and the typical way of doing that is with an exclamation mark beforehand. So for command, let's do !YouTube. Now the message box is what you want Nightbot to respond to this command. So the example that they have there is a short description saying, subscribe to my YouTube, and then a link to your YouTube channel. That's really the basic implementation. You can do some things with command variables. You'll see there a link underneath the message where you can click command !YouTube. Now the message box is what you want Nightbot to respond to this command. So the example that they have there is a short description saying, subscribe to my YouTube, and then a link to your YouTube channel.
Welcome to the stream. Make sure to like, sub, turn on post notifications.
Variables, which allows you to add some dynamic responses so that you can actually respond to the user and call their username if you'd like to, or a lot of other things. But I think for this example we'll just keep it nice and simple, follow the example, and have subscribe to my YouTube and then paste your link into your YouTube channel. Next we've got those two commands that we've looked at before, the user level and the cooldown. So user level is which kind of access level you want to set for people to be able to execute the command. So for something like this, you want everyone within your chat to be able to write the command and get a response from Nightbot. But if you do want to restrict it to a higher user level, you just click the down arrow and then you can set from everyone, subscriber, regular, moderator, or owner. But for something like this, we're going to leave it at everyone. Cooldown, as before, is the minimum amount of time before the command can be used again. So something in the range of 10 seconds should be fine for this. And finally, we get an option for an alias. We don't need to worry about this for this command, but if you want Nightbot to respond to a number of different commands, and if they said YouTube or YouTube channel or link to YouTube or something like that, you could create commands for all of them and then link the alias back to this one. Once we're happy, we can click submit. And then you should see the table update with your new custom command, and we get some options on the right hand side to edit or delete if we want to. Next, we'll look at the giveaways tab, which maybe is a little bit different to the rest of the Nightbot system, but this is basically a way for you to be able to give, do a giveaway on your stream so that one of your viewers or chatters and regulars X minute or subscriber spamming it. The final giveaway type that we're going to get a message from your users that are regulars in chat and you want them to be recognized by Nightbot. The next option we'll see is song requests, and I know this is a really requested feature, but it's something that I really want to go into a proper amount of detail into, especially setting it up for things like Spotify. And I'm wary that this video is already running on quite a bit, so I'm going to create a separate video for dealing with song requests and the auto DJ system in Nightbot. Let me know if you are really keen for that video, and I'll try and bump it up the priority list and get that out sooner rather than later for you guys. So the next section that we'll move on to is spam protection, and this is a way for Nightbot to be able to moderate your chat and time out certain users for breaking certain rules. So you'll see this is similar to the commands list. There's some defaults already set up, and you can enable or disable any of these and click options if you want to customize. So for, let's say, blacklisted words or phrases, if we click options, this new window pops up, and we can then enter a list of words or phrases that you wish Nightbot to block. The next option is the timeout length. This is the maximum amount of time that Nightbot will time out the user that has used the blacklisted word or phrase for. The way that Nightbot works is that the first time somebody breaks an offense, so the first time somebody uses a blacklisted word, let's say, they will get a 5-second timeout and a message saying that they've used a banned word. If they repeat the offense again, Nightbot remembers who the users are, and they will then be banned for the length that you enter into this box. Next option is the exempt user level, so you can set what level of user will be not included for this filter. So if you want your moderators to be able to use some of these words, then you can set that level here. The silent option below is basically for much busier channels where you don't want Nightbot to be constantly sending out its timeout message in the chat. You can here enable silent mode, and Nightbot won't send a message saying that a user has been timed out for X, Y, and Z, so it won't be flooding your chat. It will still filter out the user and give them a timeout if they're breaking the rules, but it will no longer give the message to punished users. The final box, spam protection filters, and just setting them up exactly as you want in chat, making sure that you're blacklisting certain words that you don't want to be seen in your chat, and enabling or disabling excessive caps or emotes and links and things like that, and just making sure that you're getting the user levels right to allow your moderator in the we should get a new window. And similar to the custom commands that we had earlier, Nightbot has sort of hubs or emotes and links and things like that. Post link a message that Nightbot sends on a certain timer. So maybe the example that we'll do today is having Nightbot send your social media links every, let's say, 10 minutes to your chat. So on the timers page, if we click the add button, we should get a new window. And similar to the custom commands that we had earlier, Nightbot has sort of half filled in a form for us to give an example. So the example we're going to be doing is the same one that they've got filled in here. So let's do our social links that will be sent every 10 minutes. The first box is just the name, and this doesn't interact at all with your chat. This is just purely for you when you come back to the timers page for you to know which timer is which. So they give the option of social links. That sounds good to me, so let's type in social links. The next box is the actual message that you wish Nightbot to send on the timer. So let's fill this out properly with some links to YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media you want to let your users know that they can follow you at. We can add the message in here as well as the links. The interval is how often you want Nightbot to send this message. And it's worth noting that this is the actual interval on the hour. So if you set every 15 minutes, that would be 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2:30, 2:45. We're going to set every 10 minutes, so that will be 2 o'clock, 2:10, 2:20, and so on and so forth. The chat lines option is a useful one. This is basically the number of lines of chat, or the minimum number of chat lines that Nightbot needs to have in between each interval for it to send the message. So, if you're just starting out and you haven't got many users chatting and you're just trying to get your name out there for streaming, you don't want Nightbot to be the only thing talking in chat every 10 minutes, just sending the same message, and there to be no chat in between. So this option allows Nightbot to actually check how many lines of chat there have been between its last interval and its next one. And if there haven't been this number of chat lines, then it won't send the next interval message. So the default is 2. I like to put this up to, around 5, because even with 2 lines of chat between each social links message, it can look a little bit spammy. So I'm going to change this to 5, and we'll move on to alias. Alias, just like the alias that we had in commands, is just a way for the timer to call a custom command when it is run. So if you want it to, run something else every time it's called, then you can set that here. But we're just going to leave that completely blank. Other timer examples are things like reminding your users to subscribe if you have the option to subscribe, or follow your stream. You don't want Nightbot to be, your most active chatter. You want it to be there to facilitate your users and help them when they have a custom command. So that's pretty much it for the Nightbot commands. I know I'll do a completely separate episode going into a lot of detail on song requests, because that
Dashboard.